Follow the steps. I'm getting ready to head over to London to be the master of ceremonies for Dan's one-day event there. First time he's done a one-day seminar in more than 20 years, so this should be quite a hoot. But as I got ready for that and thought about the comments I wanted to make as master of ceremonies, I was thinking about the emails that I get and the questions I get. And one of the most important things that you can do in QLA is to follow the steps. Everybody wants to jump to doing a deal. Oftentimes they want to jump to how to finance it. But if you really want to be successful, do the work. You've listened, I would imagine, to podcast number 23 and number 54, which is Sean's story. Can't guarantee that success for everybody, and I don't make that guarantee. But if you do the hard work and you keep focused and you have a good plan and you work that plan and have a good team around you, I don't see any reason why you can't achieve success. Thousands of people have with the QLA methodology that Dan created more than 25 years ago. And so that's the incredible part of this, is that you know the system works. Whether it works for you, that remains to be seen. But you know the system works. Creating the $1 trillion man and the wealth created didn't happen by accident. And as has been said many times, success does in fact leave clues, so follow those clues. So what do I think is the right way to do this? And it's one, to follow the QLA steps. But there's a few things before that that are really important. I think it's important to get your mindset and motivation squared away. So there are a few things you can do there. One, I would encourage you to read Release Your Brakes by James Newman. Goes through comfort zone. A lot of people who have done that and read that said that it was life-changing for them. So I'd encourage you to do that. It'll open your eyes to a lot of things and why you think the way you think, why your past experiences shaped you, and how to get out of your comfort zone going forward. You could also listen to or watch a series that was on the History Zone called The Selection. If you're able to access Amazon, you can go in there and Google The Selection, History, Special Forces. It's a great series on what it takes to get through a selection process in Special Forces and the talents that are required in the people who make it. Everyone who's looked at that had positive comments back and realized how much of a mental game it is. So once you get that work done, then come up with what industry you're going to work and what it is you're going to do first, better, or different in that industry. And that's important because the people who you are going to attract to you, the big hitters, will not want to just be an also-ran. They'll want to understand what it is you're going to do and what you're going to do different than everybody else in that industry. So spend some time on that. Then follow the steps. LinkedIn is the best tool I know to assemble your dream team around you. And we've talked about what talents go in there. To a dream team, the first talent for me is always dependability. I don't care how talented someone is if I can't count on them. So dependability is tops. But you'll want non-executives in that dream team. You'll want a chairman. You'll want an industry expert or two, a retired accountant, retired lawyer who have done due diligence. So put that team in place. And the QLA steps are really like rungs on a ladder. Get your motivation and mindset squared away. Get your dream team squared away. That will give you the credibility that in and of yourself you might not have, because oftentimes you're young, you haven't been in business before. So build that credibility through the people who you attract in your dream team. Then go out and get the professionals, the accountants and lawyers, and do that on a success-oriented, deferred fee, rolled fee basis. A lot of people think you can't do that, including members of your dream team probably. But guess what? It's been proven time and time again that you can do that. Then talk to financial institutions, interview them. This is the same for every step. Interview for dream team members, interview accountants and lawyers. That will change the whole dynamic of the discussion. Then, when you have those rungs of your ladder squared away, the mindset, motivation, the dream team, the accountants, the lawyers, now you're ready to go talk to financial institutions and interview them. And you want to be sure that you have some options through which you're going to finance this. First and best option, in my opinion, is always seller financing. And if you listen to, again, the podcasts of Sean being interviewed by me, you'll see why that's so important. Then you eventually have to find an acquisition. I would highly recommend that you do not go through a business broker and that you contact businesses which are not for sale. Again, LinkedIn is a great tool to do that. And in fact, when you're building your industry experts for your board, you'll probably talk to owners of businesses. And you can plant the seed that one of your criteria for looking at acquisitions might be owners which are 55 years of age and older, and ask if that resonates with the person you're talking to, because most of the time those people don't think about a transition to what's next. So if you ask that person you're interviewing, I don't know if that resonates with you, you may get an answer like, it sure does resonate with me. I should be thinking about that too. So write that person's name down, remember it, and then when you're going through the process of building your dream team, getting your professionals, getting your financial institutions, you can then contact some of those people that you talked to during the interview process for your board. And while they may not have come on your board, you can certainly point out that I remember we talked about you talking about at some point a transition. Just wonder if that time is now because we're in acquisition mode. And then lastly, you have to run the business once you've acquired it. You don't want this to go down the tubes and have your dream team, your professionals, your financial institutions say, ooh, we thought this was going to be great with all these great people, but it's not. That does not mean that you have to run the business. And in fact, you shouldn't run the business. You should have people around you and people that are experienced in running the business. So that's the important part. But many people think, well, I'll just turn the reins over and go do another deal. You still need to manage those people. So the management reports on how the business is doing, how the customer relations are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are important. And then do another one and do another one. But make sure the first ones are stable and you've got them running. So as I think about the 27 years almost that I've known Dan and seen this story unfold and the success that not only I've had, but other mentees have had, those are the important things. And I can't stress it enough. Follow the steps. So I've given you a brief outline of those now. You can certainly grab the materials on my website, which are both free and some courses and boot camps that I was asked to create. The boot camp is a series of 5 weeks of videos which go through the beginning steps. And for many people, that's a good one. So you can certainly email me if that has interest, and I'll shoot you a link to that in the details. So that's it. Follow the steps, and I think you will experience a success if you work it hard that in the beginning you would not have imagined as possible. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments or ideas for future episodes, please email bruce@brucewhipple.com. And if you're not already on our mailing list, head over to brucewhipple.com and sign up and grab any of the free reports. That'll put you on the mailing list. There is a lot of free information you can use to acquire already profitable businesses. This is Bruce Whipple. Thanks for listening to the Business Acquisition Podcast. And remember, you miss 100% of the opportunities you failed to take. And procrastination truly is the thief of time. So do something today, please. Your future self will be proud of you.